Welcome back. Today, as I'm recording this, it's October 1st, and Chess.com has some new bots out. If you weren't aware, they usually replace the bots of the month every month, and this month are the Halloween bots. I'm just going to start with the lowest rated one and beat as many as I can in the time I have. The first one is MartinLecter, rated 350. Then there's CheckClown, rated 825. There's Edith, rated 1300. That's usually where I end up having trouble, is the third bot. Sometimes I beat it, sometimes I draw it, sometimes it beats me. And then there is Detective Maya, 1775, and Grand Monster Danny. Looks like he's got some sort of fetal things growing out of his head, which, that's awesome. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm not a chess coach or a titled player or chess superstar or any of those things. I'm just a random person who enjoys chess, and I'm trying to get better at it. One way that I do that is by playing bots. There are a bunch of people that say you shouldn't play the lower rated bots, but I play people around my rating range day to day, and I lose to a bunch of them. So sometimes it's nice to, to play somebody that's lower rated than you, and that's kind of what I'm doing here by starting at the beginning. Also, if I didn't start at the beginning, then where would I start? In the middle? The one that I know can beat me or I will have trouble with? I'll get there if I get there. Let's play the French defense, see if they want to exchange. They did not. They like to play this. I have so few human opponents play this that I can't remember if I'm supposed to take it or push c5 now, or am I supposed to pin it with this bishop? I can't remember. I'm gonna, that's funny, because here my human opponents either push this or take 9 times out of 10, but I'm gonna pin that knight and see what happens. My human opponents get this bishop out here. This one did not. So I'm guessing this is the better move, because even these lower rated bots often play the first 4 or 5 moves straight out of the book. Okay, well now do I take this and give them another defender on this pawn that I want to take? Or do I leave it there for a second? I'm going to leave it there for a second and get this knight out, and maybe bring it this way to attack their d-pawn. Okay, well now I have to take that, don't I? I can't bring it back very far. I guess I'll take the knight. It doubles their pawns, but it ruins my chances of getting their d-pawn, I think. And now I can't even do the c5 because that bishop is gone. So maybe that was the incorrect way to go. Well, since the center is locked up, I'm not really anxious to castle in a hurry, so I'm going to play this knight to d7, which guards c5, in case I still want to push my c-pawn, which I do now. I want to push the c-pawn, see if they want to take it. They did not. Okay. They are pushing all these pawns over here. Is that good? I don't know. I'm going to take this pawn, and then maybe I can check once that thing moves. Except they'll block with the bishop, so it's kind of pointless to check here. I can aim at that pawn, though. I can go here and aim at their d-pawn, and then get this knight out over here to attack it. Okay, I'm going to attack the d-pawn here. I think they can just defend it with getting a knight out, though. They did not. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on, whether this is good, bad, whatever. I'm going to take the d-pawn. If they want a queen trade now, we can do a queen trade now. We do want a queen trade, okay? And now they're going to take my d-pawn. No, they're not. I thought they were going to take my d-pawn. But they are coming with those pawns. Do I have a safe retreat for this knight? Okay, I do. Is this one of those times where the computer's going to say later that I should have castled here? I don't know. This has happened to me the last 2 or 3 months. The lowest rated bot gives me a bunch of trouble. A couple of months ago, one of them took me to like 80 moves. I think I want to put this knight up here on c5 and maybe swing it over that way. Let's see about that. They're probably going to push this, and then I guess oh, they took there. Okay. I think I can still do the thing that I wanted to. No, now they can pin my knight to my other knight. Right here is what I thought they were going to do. Well, now I can fork them and take their rook. Okay. Well, now I'm pretty sure I'm ahead, but I don't know for how long with all those pawns coming forward. I can also fork them here and take this bishop, which I think will help. Yeah, let's take that. Then I can check again, but I don't know what good it would do to check there. But I can check here. Sorry, not check. I can move there and aim for the other rook, which is currently trapped. But maybe they'll move that knight so they can get their rook out. They didn't. Okay. Well, then I am going to get that rook. Pretty sure. Are they going to check? Okay, well, let's uncheck here. And we're going to do a bishop trade. We are. Okay. I'm feeling a little confident now because I am going to get that rook. But these pawns are starting to get worrisome. That's going to be a check, but I can stop it. Okay, I'm going to take the rook, so they don't have any power pieces right now. They are pushing all the pawns. Well, let's get out of there before I can't get out of there anymore, and maybe come after some of these pawns, like so. I'm coming after that pawn and this one. They gave me this one. I will take it, and I guess I will protect my knight. If they want to take, I will do that. Oh, they took that pawn. Okay. Well, let's put this rook right here, and we will move our kings ever so slightly over here to keep it, because if I went to the right, the king could come forward. But if I go to the E file, the king cannot come forward. It has to get out of check back there someplace. I guess let's attack that A pawn before it does anything serious. Oh, they wanted to check me there. Good job. I could take it. I could move past. I think I want to move past. And then that pawn will be stuck there for a while, I think. Well, I think I need to get my other rook over into this, but I'm not sure how far up to move my D rook. Let's just move it here where it's aimed at that pawn, and then I can bring the other rook over. Okay, they made no move to protect that pawn, so I'll just take it. See where they're going with the knight. Oh, they wanted me to check them again. I will check them again, and then I will bring the other rook over to the D file where it has a lot of running room. See what we're going to do here. Okay, we can check there. They have to go back one of two ways. Okay. I can check again, but then it's going to start getting close to me. Oh, if it gets close to me, I'll take the knight. Okay. So I assume it's going to go down one to protect the knight. No, it came close to me and gave me the knight. I will take it, and then we'll do a ladder mate, I think. But let's get these rooks really far apart from one another, and then check here. And wait, are they going to have a legal move? Yes, because these are rooks, not queens. And yeah, I do have that other pawn trapped, but it doesn't matter. All right, 43 moves, a little bit better than the last time, but I felt like this spot went a while before I had any grasp of how to win. Well, I said 43 moves, but it covered up the last few for some reason. Okay. And in my last few videos, I forgot to save the games to my archive, and they were just gone. Okay, and there is not a button to go to an analysis board, which is what I wanted to do just to see if I knew where it went wrong, but there's not a button. So I can't analyze this game without wasting my one game review, which I'm going to save. Let's go into the next spot, which is CheckClown, rated 825, and see what color I'm going to get. Am I going to get the black pieces again? Excellent. That's the one that's been giving me trouble against human opponents. I recently switched back to playing knight to f6. And then just doing this little fianchetto thing over here, which is the king's Indian defense, apparently. Oh, but see, when they play that, they're coming after the knight. Now, one time I analyzed a game, and Stockfish said here, castling was my best move. And I thought, well, then they're just going to push that forward. And then what do I do? So I've been playing d6 here to keep that pawn from coming forward, and then castling. I think that's all right. But now I don't know what to do over here. I guess I haven't looked into this opening long enough to remember what to do on this side. And they already have the bishop there, so it's no good to pin the knight. I guess I can fianchetto over here, but then wouldn't they push their D pawn so that bishop's doing nothing? Maybe. Let's try it. Okay, I'm going to put the light squared bishop here. I have two pieces aimed at their E pawn, and they only have a knight guarding it. So should I take it now, or should I worry about their H pawn? Well, the same piece that I would take the H pawn with is also one of the pieces that I want to use over here, so maybe I should worry about the H pawn. I guess I'll play my H pawn so that if that comes forward, I can lock it in, and now I can come after their E pawn. If they trade knights here, then I've gone up a pawn. They did not trade knights here. Okay, so I can either pull this back or trade knights, and I'm up a pawn, I think. That bishop isn't aimed at anything, but my guess is that they want to put the queen behind it, one of these two squares, not that one right now, and try to pick off this pawn. That's my guess. Can I do anything about that? Well, I can push this pawn now, but they have a bunch of things guarding that, not just the pawn and the bishop. Okay, because they also have the knight there. All right, well, I can bring this knight back since they didn't trade for it and aim here. Oh, they ran away with the bishop, so they were not intending to line the queen up with it. Well, now it looks like it's time for a pawn break. I am trying to get better at learning when it's a good time for pawn breaks, and it looks like this might be the time, but I never know which one to play. Whichever one I play, the engine later will tell me I should have played a different one, and that's frustrating. Also, I have a piece that's not developed yet. Maybe I should develop the piece first and then worry about pawn breaks. Oh, that knight has retreated to its home square. I guess that's encouraging. I am going to play c5, but I think they're going to push forward. Is there a way to prevent that? There is a way to prevent that, and that is by playing e6 first. I think that prevents that. Let me try that. I'm going to play c6 first. Sorry, e6 and then d5. Oh, they just gave up their bishop. All right, I'll take it. And that knight hopping back there means I can get this pawn. I mean, I guess even if it didn't hop there, if it hopped somewhere else, I could still get this pawn. But because their h-pawn's already moved, their rook's going to be able to get away, but I get another free pawn. Right, and if they try to block me in or something, I get the rook. So they're going to move the rook, and then I'm going to bring this back. They've left their king in the middle, so I'm feeling pretty good. And of course, if they move this bishop up, I will trade for it. First, though, I am going to do what I said, which is play d5, and see what they want to do here. They did not want to do anything. Okay, so I don't know if that was the best pawn break or not because of the quality of bot that I'm playing. Well, if I take, that diverts one of my center pawns, and they can take back easily. That helps to activate their bishop. So maybe I won't take just yet. Maybe I will leave that there for a minute. Maybe now it's time to play e5 because they only have the pawn guarding that square and I can take. And I have 2 pieces guarding d5, my knight and my bishop. Okay, I'm going to play e5. You pawn break experts can tell me what I did wrong there. Take this, see where they're going. Okay, they took that. Well, nothing except their queen is defending their d-pawn. So I'm going to trade queens right now, or give them the opportunity to trade queens. Just like my human opponents, this one likes to trade when it gets a chance. That is pointed at squares that are fairly covered by me. Oh, maybe it thought I was going to move my rook over because they left their king in the middle. Maybe I should have thought about that. All right, what if I just push this a pawn though? Okay, it ran away. Well, I can attack the bishop by putting this knight on f4, and also, I guess, threatening a check over there, but I don't know what good that check does. It also, by moving that knight, another thing I was looking at was putting this bishop here on d5, which would aim at that rook, which is running out of spaces. So they don't have anything guarding d5, so I'll aim at the rook for a moment. Okay, that is defended by the bishop. Took me a second. Oh, I just realized when I moved my bishop up, I left that pawn undefended, but I guess they had already moved their bishop back. Okay, now I'm going to put my rook on e1 like they tried to prevent earlier, and then I will check them here with this knight, and that knight is pinned. Well, that knight is not pinned anymore, but my knights are protecting each other, but if I put this bishop in here, hoping to get my rook down there, I mean, after I trade off a couple of their minor pieces, I don't think it'll work because they can move the knight. No, they can't move the knight there. Okay, so what's going to happen if I put my bishop down here? Are they going to move the knight? Let's see where they move it. I'm going to put my bishop here, aiming at the knight. They just moved the king. Oh, I have to be careful about this because that'll leave the other knight undefended. I can check here. Let's check first. See if they want to go back. They didn't. They blocked it with the knight, which gives me the bishop. Let's take the bishop. And then, let's see, if I put my rook down here, it will be protected by my D knight, but it would not be mate because they will have 2 legal moves. Or you know what, let me just take this knight now, and then when they take back, if they take back, I will take it here and hopefully clean up very soon. Well, now I wish I still had my light squared bishop. Well, now I want to bring the rook down to e1 and check. They can come up. I think I will put this rook down here, and I'm aiming for checkmate. Oh, well, they helped me because first when I did this, they were going to be able to get away, but now I don't think they can get away. Yeah, they can. They can go this way. And then I will check again over here with this knight because the front D knight is protected. Yes, it is protected where they can come forward, I guess, or they can go over. Wow, I am not very good at this for some reason. Okay, well, this is why I play bots, to practice with these things. Let's check here. This time if they block with the rook, I will trade rooks. Oh, they didn't. They went for my knights that are no longer defending one another. Well, let's move them back to defending one another, I guess. And then check here, where now they have to move over, maybe. Okay. Well, let's move up to c3 and aim for this a pawn. They protected the a pawn. Okay. This is protected by the d knight. All right, then let's check with this rook. And yes, my plan is to keep checking. Check more. Let's check with the pawn. I really do like the dynamic of the 2 knights protecting one another. I guess let's check with this rook. They can go that way. They can go this way. They did that way. Okay. Well, then my F knight is protecting e6, so they have to go down, I think. And then my D knight is protecting c7, so they have to go down again. And I don't yet have a checkmate because my knight needs to go there. Let's see. Okay, while the C rook is still protected by the D knight, I can check here. They have to come over one. And then I think that's mate. I think it's checkmate to play knight to f6. Okay. Took me a couple of more moves to beat this one than it did the first one, but I felt like this one messed up earlier. It just played a little stronger near the end. All right, and I do have time to play the third one. Edith, rated 1300, said, "Welcome to my haunted party. You're my only guest." Or you're the only guest. Well, those kind of parties are better, aren't they? Because then I don't have to deal with all the extra people. Yeah, I'm one of those people that doesn't like crowds most of the time. I don't mean crowds like at stadiums and stuff. That doesn't seem to bother me. Crowds in a house, that does. Not that you need to know that or care. I'm going to play E4, the number one most common move in chess of all time. My opponent has played the French defense. Okay, I don't play against the French very often. I'm going to treat it kind of like the Caro-Kann and put another pawn up here. Are they going to play D5? They did not. They played A5. For all I know, that's the best move in the position. Let's go ahead and take the full center, because I've been told if you can get pawns in the center, then you should. Okay, this pawn is not defended. That knight is attacking it. I will defend it with this C knight, C3. Now, that one is defended, so I shouldn't worry about it. Should I put another pawn in the center? Let's put another pawn in the center, and maybe put this knight over here. Well, they've pinned that knight, so this pawn isn't protected anymore. Well, then I should push that pawn and see if the knight wants to go somewhere. Oh, it wants to go here, doesn't it? Okay, well, then I need to defend the knight by... Oh, I ran into this against a human opponent, I think, on video not too long ago. I made the wrong move. I think in my game I put the bishop here and they just took it, but like I didn't know what else to do. I guess I can put the queen up, but then I'm not defending that pawn anymore. Oh, maybe I can put the queen here on D3. Wait. They can check me here. Oh, but if they do, I'll push the pawn. Wait, is this one of those situations? I almost didn't see it, but yeah, they can check me. So let's say I put my queen up here and they checked me, and I pushed that pawn. Oh, I wouldn't be worried about the tactic because my queen would be guarding that. Okay, queen to D3 it is. And of course, I took with the pawn. Well, I will take that since it was already a doubled pawn anyway, and then we will figure out how to get rid of that knight. Maybe I can get rid of the knight this way. Let's see if they want to take my pawn, and then the knight will be undefended. Okay, are they going to take with the queen, which defends the knight? They are. Okay. I'm going to start getting some pieces out here and maybe castle before long. Okay, that looks bad. Let's see, how many squares are their knights guarding in this position? Their knights are guarding a ton of squares in this position. All the red squares are covered by knights. Well, I want to go here then. Let's go here and see if they want to trade queens. They did not. I'm going to take their queen. They can take back with their knight, or they could have forked me, but that's probably better. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know whether or not to take that pawn, but I did, and now I'm going to put this here, which pins that knight to their king. Okay, well, not anymore. Let's take it, and then I'm going to castle, because I still can. Okay, oh, I was going to say I was down a pawn, but I must have been up a pawn, because we're even now. Okay, I guess take that too. And then, let's see, no, my f-pawn is already defended by my bishop, but I need to get the bishop out, so why not put it here, make the rook move again. Oh, I just realized I undefended that pawn when I got the bishop out. That wasn't really the most brightest thing I've done all day, was it? Okay, is that a pin? I don't know if that counts as a pin or not. Let's see, how can I get to them? Can I get to them? That's the question. Let's see if I can get to them some way or another. That doesn't help anything. Their knight is still kind of pinned. Would it help if I put my rook here? Does that do anything? I'm aimed at that rook. Oh, now they have both rooks guarding that. Oh, I can stop that rook by doing this, right? And now I should be able to win the knight. Should I use the rook or the bishop? I think I want to use the rook. And then and then we'll go this way. I still have my rook down here, which is doing fine. Okay, they've come after the bishop, which I guess they can. I'm going to go after their a-pawn. I'm up a piece now. Okay, we're going to trade pawns here, I guess, because I can't defend that a-pawn. No, I cannot. Okay. Well, let's take, and they'll take, and then I will get the bishop out of the way. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Wait, they moved this one. Where did they... I'm not sure where they're going with that. Okay, well, they could have gotten the a-pawn anyway, so I'm going to move my bishop and maybe prepare to guard this. Okay, I have no idea what they're doing with their bishop now, but I'm going to protect my pawn with my bishop. Wait, is that what they were doing? They forgot that their rook could have taken that the whole time? All those moves with the bishop were aimed at that pawn. Okay, I guess that's a thing that bots do now. That was very strange. I can attack the rook, but it's just going to move over, and then I can attack the bishop and maybe... No, I don't know. I need to give my king an out so I don't get stuck back here somehow. I need to move my rook over some way. Wait, are they going to go for this pawn with their bishop? What if I just stop that now? Let's see if they want to trade rooks or check me. They probably want to check. Oh, they didn't want to check me. Okay. I'm going to move my rook over here, and I'm aiming for the back rank, which will be a checkmate unless they move one of their pawns. They did move one of their pawns. Okay. because my knight was guarding the getaway square. Let's check them. Let's check down there anyway. Now they only have one legal move, I think. And I can't follow that with the rook because their bishop's guarding that square. But I can put this... Oh, I was going to say I can put this bishop here and then I would have a discovery, but that's attacking their rook. They're going to go take that pawn. So what I need to do is move this knight first and then do the fork with the bishop. I think let's move the knight. I don't know why I was trying to go there with the knight. Maybe because I wanted to attack the bishop. Let's go here with the knight. And now I am setting up this fork, but they moved the king. Okay. All right. What if we come after the bishop? If they go there, I'm going to come up here, I think. Oh, wait, but then that pins the knight. That pins the knight. If I move my king up here, then they can attack the knight and I can't defend it. So I need to just move the knight to a place, maybe up here. Let's move the knight up here where it's defended, but I realize nothing's defending that pawn. I can check them. Then they would have to move forward or out. I don't know which way they would go. If I checked them, yeah, let's see. What else can I do? I can check them with the knight now, but then they come out and my knight's under attack. Let's attack the bishop. Let's just do that. Attack the bishop. It may run away, like right there, and then I will take it because I was up a piece. So now I want to take that pawn, and then I will go up there, I guess. Yeah, because my pawn's guarding in case they try to check me with the pawn. And then I will take this this pawn here, and now I have an outside pass pawn. I have an extra piece. I should be okay. Oh no, they're coming for this pawn. I can defend that pawn this way with the bishop because my rook is defending this pawn. Now I need to work out a way to get my rook behind that pawn. But for now, I'm going to just move the rook forward and then move the pawn this way like so. So it's still defended. And then I can maybe move the bishop and get the pawn up here. Let's see. I can check them now while my rook is defending that pawn. But first, I am going to push my g-pawn so that when I checked them, they couldn't come back in here. Now I can check them with the rook, which is still guarding my a-pawn. And how to keep guarding that pawn as it goes down, that is the question. Also, my bishop is also guarding this pawn right now. So I need to bring my king, I guess. Or should I give up my a-pawn so I can pick off some of their pawns? Let's give up the a-pawn. I mean, we might have to give up the a-pawn at this point to take their h-pawn. Now they can take that a-pawn, and I'm going to swing this bishop back right here, and I am looking to come this way and check them. They checked me, which is a legal move. Let's see where they're going to go. They ran over there. I am going to check them here while all these pieces are defending each other. They could have come over to the d-file, but they went back instead. Let's check them here, and then maybe I will start marching the h-pawn. I'm going to defend the h-pawn with my king. I know they're about to check me again, but I don't want to defend it with my rook, right? Or maybe I should start pushing other pawns. Yeah, let's defend it with the rook, because I know they want to check me and then keep going after the h-pawn, and this gets rid of that opportunity. And then I will keep pushing this. They're going to come after it. Okay, it's defended by this now. Oh, what's going on there? Are they they're trying to sneak through? Okay, I guess I could check them and just force them through. They didn't want to go through. They went that way. Okay. I'm probably doing something way off here, and I don't know what it is. Well, let's check them, and then they will go there, and then I will check them here and see where they go. They're going to go there. Well, now I can move this pawn again. And they checked me. Okay, that's uncheck. And they're going to check me again in just a second, I guess. But now I'm going to move this rook way over there, and my bishop is guarding that promotion square. Yes, checking me is one thing that can happen. Why not check me again? Nope. Okay, well, let's promote here. And then I will just come toward them until they move into a spot where I can take them. That's gonna be, is that a checkable offense? Not real. Oh yeah, it is. I'm gonna check them right over here and not leave them a lot of room. And then I'm gonna come over here and check them. Now they're gonna try to squirt through. Okay, that you can go through. That's fine. Which way are you gonna go through? That way? Okay, then I'm gonna check you here and win the rook. And then we're gonna checkmate here before long. We're gonna start here and just cut off the files. Okay, that was 84 moves. And I don't have time to play the next one, but I am glad that I beat the third one because I don't think I did the last 2 months. Oh, I forgot to save the second game. It's gone. Okay, well, let me save this third one, and then I will run the game review. Okay, well, we didn't do incredibly well. There were some problems. But I mean, it says I played like a 1300 according to the ratings estimator, which I know sometimes is a little over, but other times I think it's under. I don't know. That's still higher than my actual rating, so. It looks like there were only 2 spots at which I gave the bot a lead, and of course these numbers pop up at the most inopportune times. Right there, I blundered and gave the bot its first lead early, and then right in here I made a mistake and gave the bot a small lead. So I'm going to go to those sections here. Okay, C4 was a blunder here. I had to play knight to F3. Or A4 would have been okay, but why is C4 a blunder? What does it allow? Wait, C4, I bet it allows knight to B4. Is that what it is? Okay, not only knight to b4, they could have also played bishop to f5. And yeah, it does say if they played knight to b4, I would play queen to b1. I guess, yeah, because I would start running into the same thing I eventually ran into with all the squares that their knights are covering. Because currently that pawn is preventing their knight from going to b4. That is one thing that I have consistently failed to notice when they put a knight on c6. It's not just looking at the center squares. That's what I always look toward because that's why we're taught as beginners to put the knight on c6 is to cover center squares. But in recent experience, last year or two, they're very often supposed to go to b4. And this knight over here is very often supposed to go to g4. And I keep missing those. But right now I am preventing that knight from going to b4. I think I understand that. And moving the pawn doesn't prevent that anymore. But just a normal developing move. And I would have been fine. Okay. I think I understand that, but I played it, so now if they play knight to b4, which they didn't, they castled, but they're still ahead, even if I make my best move. Well, the whole reason I moved this up here was to take the pawn, but now I should play, okay, if I play a3, that prevents knight to b4. Okay, I'm surprised that's the absolute best move, but it is, but I understand it. But I took there, and they take back with the queen, and then I'm just stuck. But now I played knight to f3, which puts us at -3, again, if they will play knight to b4. And this time they did, because it's a computer, it's going to see that. But I have human opponents see that too. Knights cover a lot of squares. Where are we on the graph now? Let me see on the graph. Back up and move forward so I see the line. Okay, it's way up here a little bit where I made the mistake that put the bot ahead again, although they had a little bit of a lead throughout the thing I was just showing, like -6, -3, that kind of thing. 0.6, 0.3. But here we're right at even. One of my best moves was to take that pawn. Their best move was to take back. And here I have at least 2 moves. I am going to change the setting, which I keep forgetting a lot of times. I can go up to 5 lines here because sometimes there's 5 or 6 or 10 moves that are all pretty good. And I don't know that because I only have 2 lines because my computer started, the fan came on immediately. There's only 2 moves though that keep us really close to zeros. And after that, they start getting a little closer to -1. Well, let's do this so my computer will quit complaining. But rook to d1 targets the undefended bishop, which would then take this knight and double my pawns. Okay, or knight to e5. I think I played that a couple of moves later. But this is a mistake, and they're ahead now. Okay, I was right. I said during the game, oh no, I just undefended that pawn. But by the time I realized that, they had moved the rook. And yeah, okay, and then we were even again. Oh, I missed a mate less than halfway through, and then I missed a mate near the end. Well, let's take a look at those two. Here it says after this inaccuracy, I have a mate in 6. If I will play bishop to d4. Wait, I almost played that. But I thought it would give up this pawn. So that's why I started doing this complicated thing with trying to move these pawns forward and get the knight up there and stuff like that, because I wanted to force their king out here so I would get a fork. But I should have just played it now. And it says they would have checked me. I would have got out of check, and then they would have given me the rook. I don't know that they would have, but let's just see. It's not their best move to check me on a2. Well, okay, they're the same. It's their best move to take the pawn. Okay, see, if I had played this, then I would have said, oh no, but I'm giving up that pawn because I don't see a mate. Wait, it says rook to g8, and that is because my pawns are cutting off those 2 squares. Okay, I see it. The bishop down to g7. It took me a while, but now I do see it. Now they're going to check me, and I'm going to go to g3, and they're going to give away the rook because I have mate down there. I don't even have to take it. Yep, I don't even have to take the rook. I probably would in a game, but I can just go here. Oh, and they're just going to take this pawn. Okay. That's as long as they can delay mate. Now there is nothing they can do. That's checkmate. Wait, what if they play this? Oh, if they move that pawn, I just take it with my pawn and that's mate. Oh, wow. Oh, and I don't even have to move the bishop down. G5 is mate. Oh my goodness. But if they play this, isn't the bishop... Okay, that's the one I was seeing. That was mate too, but this also would be checkmate. So my gut instinct was right, but I hesitated because it looked like it was giving up that pawn. But my gut instinct didn't know what it was doing here. My gut instinct did not realize I was trying to cover this square and later move this rook over here and then checkmate them this way. Okay, my other miss was quite a bit later here. They gave me a mate in 2. I needed to play queen to e6. Okay, queen to e6 because that forces them to take the rook. That forces them to take the rook. And that's mate. Queen to f7 because the pawn and the bishop cut off those 2 squares. And of course my queen hits the front 3. Okay, that one's a little high level. But obviously there's no time in this game. No timer, no clock counting down. If my video wasn't, already too long, I might have seen that if I just sat here for 5 minutes. Anyway, I've got to go. Had a kid get their braces off this morning. I've got to go pick them up from school again so I can go take them to get their retainer. Being a parent is fun sometimes. And, if you're not a parent yet, looking forward to it. I'll see you next time.